This is Don again. This is VID number 20, and the title is Drugs in the 70s. This is a little insight about drug use in 1970-71 in the DC area. The drugs of choice were LSD, PCP, and angel dust. This was also the time of the largest rebellion to the Vietnam War. During the May Day demonstrations in 1971, I was in dress greens with a gas mask on my hip directing traffic on Route 1. If you go to YouTube, you will be told that roughly 10,000 people were detained. Not even close, more like 100,000. We had 10,000 at Belvoir alone. Every fort around DC had detainees, and there were a bunch held in RFK Stadium. We had to deal with all kinds of people and situations. This is just one. I was working the desk on night shift. The phone rang. The conversation went something like this. Caller: hello, can you send a couple MPs over to my barracks at so-and-so location? Me: sure, what's the problem? Caller: I'm a company cook, and I was just coming in from work, and this crazy guy came running up to me in the parking lot yelling he was going to kill me. I punched him out and left him lying in the parking lot. I'm in an old wooden barracks, and my room is upstairs. As I was coming into my room, this crazy guy had come to and followed me to my room. He ran into the room and attacked me. He bit me through my field jacket and the liner and took a hunk out of my upper arm. I punched him out again. He's here on the floor unconscious again. I never saw this guy before in my life. I need some help. Me: I had already handed a note to the radio operator with the location, and he sent a patrol to that location as I was on the phone. I told him help was on the way. The patrol was actually just around the corner, and they came into the room as I was talking to the cook. He thanked me for the help and hung up. The MPs handcuffed this crazy guy and stood him up as he was coming to. They started to go down the stairs, and this idiot, with his hands cuffed behind his back, pushed off. My guys weren't about to go tumbling down the steps with him, and they let him go. Tumble, tumble, bang, out the double doors and tumble down the 8 concrete steps to the sidewalk, unconscious again. They put him in the back of the car and brought him in, still knocked out. As I sat at the desk looking at the front door, we had a detention cell in the left corner. It was constructed out of heavy steel extruded metal in a similar pattern to a chain link fence, but just flat metal. It contained a bench in the back to sit on. This is where folks got to languish as I was doing the paperwork. It was about 8 feet square and went to the ceiling. We searched this clown and found his ID, etc. I had enough information to book him and lock him up until his preliminary hearing. As I was doing the paperwork, he came around. He looked around and realized where he was. His next move was almost unbelievable. He lowered his head and charged the door. Bang! Plop! Knocked out again. He actually did this 3 times while I was doing the paperwork. We had solitary confinement cells located upstairs in the main post firehouse. This is where we put people until they got back from their trip. This guy was an exceptional case, and why I remember it so well. To control him, cuffs were put on his ankles as well as handcuffed behind his back. He was placed in the back of the patrol car for transport, kind of like a rolled-up carpet style. Anyway, one of the MPs got in the back seat with him. The guy turned his head and bit the MP on the thumb all the way to the second knuckle. That was bad enough, but when he bit down, also jerked his head back and peeled the skin right off his thumb. The last thing I heard walking back into the building was, "You bit my thumb." Thump. And then they proceeded to the firehouse. This particular guy did not know or realize he was arrested for 4 days. Never a dull moment. I truly believe if there was such a thing as a cholesterol level check at the time, they would all come back 0 for all of us. Between bank robberies, armed robberies, domestic quarrels, bar brawls, drug use results, along with vehicle pursuits, we were always pumping. This concludes the story about the experiences around drug use in 1970-71. All the best.